In the coastal city of Meriden, where the sea breeze mixed with the smell of fish and salt water, lived a young man named Lucas. He was kind, smart, and dreamed of becoming a marine engineer who would build ships capable of crossing oceans. But Lucas had one problem. He never finished anything he started. He could begin thousands of things. He bought books and never finished them. He downloaded programs and never opened them. He told himself, "Tomorrow I'll really start," but every tomorrow looked exactly like yesterday. Every morning his mother knocked on the door. "Lucas, wake up. The market is already buzzing. The day has begun." He mumbled, "5 more minutes," and fell asleep for another hour. Lucas often stared at the ships docked at the port and thought, "One day I'll build ships like these," but he only dreamed and never acted. One evening he wandered into the old part of the port. There, among outdated warehouses and rusty containers, was a small workshop owned by an older man named Marco. Marco was once a famous shipbuilder, but now he lived quietly, away from the noise. Lucas noticed a light in the workshop and peeked inside. Marco stood over a wooden model of a ship, carving a tiny piece of wood with complete concentration. His movements were precise, steady, as if he had been doing this his whole life. Lucas asked, "Why do you still keep working? Don't you want to rest?" The old man smiled. "This is not work, boy. It's a habit. It carries me better than any rest." Lucas frowned. "But isn't it boring to do the same thing every day?" Marco set the tool down and said, "Boring is living without progress. If you do a little every day, you build your future. If you skip, your future cracks like an old deck." These words struck Lucas. That night he sat on the shore for hours, thinking about his life. He remembered all the projects he abandoned within a week, the courses he quit, the dreams he gave up on as soon as things got hard. What if his failures weren't about talent, but about the lack of small, daily actions? The next morning, for the first time in a long while, he got up before sunrise. It was difficult. His eyes burned, his body resisted, and his mind whispered, "Just lie down a little longer." But Lucas still walked to the workshop. He took an old notebook, opened a blank page, and made one simple sketch, a small outline of a ship's hull. The next day he made another, and another. A week later, he began visiting Marco regularly. The old man didn't give long lectures. He spoke little, but every word hit the target. Don't do a lot. Do it daily. Ships aren't built in bursts. They're built in layers. Small efforts are the anchor of discipline. Every day, Lucas spent 20 to 30 minutes sketching and designing. He didn't set huge goals. He simply showed up. A month passed. And almost without noticing, Lucas changed. His hand became steadier, his lines straighter. He developed patience. He became calmer, more focused. Small habits began shaping his character. Later he added another habit, reading at least 10 pages of engineering textbooks every evening. No excuses. No, tomorrow. Just 10 pages. Every day. Soon the Coastal Academy announced a competition for an internship position in the engineering workshop at the port. It was the dream of every young student, a chance to work with real projects. Lucas stared at the announcement for a long time. Before he would have said, "I'm not ready." But now he felt something different. Not confidence, discipline. He submitted his application. On the day of the tests, many students were nervous. Some backed out, some rushed their work, some boasted. Lucas simply sat down, took out his notebook and pencil. His movements were as steady as Marco's a month ago. The task was difficult. Design a small cargo vessel with a load calculation. For most, it was overwhelming. But Lucas had been practicing similar exercises every day. He finished calmly, without rushing. A week later, a letter arrived. His hands shook as he opened it. "Congratulations. You have been accepted. Your internship begins on the 1st of next month." Lucas froze. He couldn't breathe for a moment. He ran to his mother. "Mom, I made it." Her eyes filled with tears. She hugged him tightly, as if afraid to let go. But Lucas had one more stop, Marco's workshop. The old man stood outside almost as if he already knew. "Well, son?" Lucas handed him the letter. Marco smiled. "I told you, habits build ships. And they build lives too." Months passed. Lucas worked in the port, studied blueprints, took part in real projects. His skills grew like a rising tide. He became reliable, calm, disciplined. Sometimes the younger trainees asked him, "How did you improve so fast?" He always answered, "Nothing happened fast. I just took small steps every day." Even the smallest ones. One evening, he stood on the deck of a large ship lit by the lights of the port. The wind blew through his hair, and the sea roared as if congratulating him. And he understood, his life didn't change because of motivation. Motivation came and went. His life changed because of habits he repeated daily until they became part of him. He returned home and opened the old notebook where it all began. On the first page was that uneven, clumsy sketch. He smiled. The journey doesn't begin with a perfect step. It begins with a step you're willing to repeat tomorrow, and the day after, and 100 times more. Real transformation doesn't come from inspiration, but from small daily actions you do even when you don't feel like it. If you want to change your life, don't wait for the perfect moment. Pick one small action. Do it today. Repeat it tomorrow. And your habits will build your future just like shipbuilders build their vessels. Layer by layer, day by day.